Today we're going to look at Earth and Space Science Reference Table, page 5, Life Cycle of Stars Model. Life cycle of stars model shows us the birth and the death of the stars. Let's start from the middle. In the middle we have a star-forming nebula. That's the gas cloud from which we have different stars form. And here we see three different types of stars that we can see forming from this nebula. We can see in yellow here a sun-like stars. We can have low mass stars, and then we have massive stars. So we have these three arrows that are coming out of this star-forming nebula, this cloud of gases and dust. Let's first look at the sun-like stars, their path of life. As our sun-like stars form in the early stages, they're going to follow this loop or this kind of life cycle. As they burn through all their hydrogen, turn into helium, they're going to expand to turn into red giants. Remember, as our stars burn, they are using process of nuclear fusion to produce energy. And as our hydrogen stars run out of this fuel, they will need to expand in order to be able to fuse helium, a little bit of a heavier element. And they'll expand, turn these red giants, and keep on fusing other elements. As they get, so that's their intermediate stage. As they get older, we get this planetary nebula. As the as the sun-like stars expel some of its material, and then two things can happen. The late stage of that type of stars will be either white dwarf, or we will follow back into this nebula, star-forming nebula. Here we also see a low mass stars, how they go through their life cycle as they form from the star-forming nebula. Low mass stars will actually turn into these red dwarfs, and then eventually they will turn into white dwarfs. So as we see, sun-like stars and low mass stars both can end up in this white dwarf category, the end life of these type of stars. Now let's look at the right side of the cycle. We have these massive stars, more than 8 or to 10 times massive than the sun. As they burn through their fuel, their life cycle actually will go much faster, millions of years. They will turn into this red supergiant. That's going to be their intermediate stage. And after that stage of life, they will explode in a supernova. When these stars explode in a supernova, they got to the element in their core where they cannot fuse it anymore. A lot of times it is an iron core element that cannot be fused any further. So star explodes, the gas pressure wins over gravity, and they will explode in this explosion called supernova. And we have three possible outcomes. These stars can turn into a black hole, infinitely dense object in space. They can also turn into this neutron star, this very, very dense star that will pulsate. And then we also get back to this star-forming nebula. And that is the life cycle of our stars. So the main idea here to remember as we start from our protostar, early stage stars, our star-forming nebula, we need to ask ourselves, are we looking at the lower mass star like Sun, or even smaller mass, or are we looking at the massive stars, and follow path that is respectively belongs to either or. All right, thank you for spending time. Good luck studying, and we'll talk again soon.